Good morning, students. Yesterday's class, I started the year departed 2. Part 1 is completed. Today, part 2. Year departed 2, part 2. In yesterday's class, you learned about Abel Merryweathers. Abel Merryweathers was alive. Abel Merryweather was alive. He came down from upstairs and looking Ben and Jordan, he asked them what is the reason of their coming and why are they wearing black dress? What is the reason for it? Henry says it was the death of Ben's brother, but what is the name of Ben's brother? He asked, but they say Mrs. Slater says it was Frederick, and Jordan says Albert, and Ben says it was Isaac. So he asked, Abel asked him, where does his brother Isaac live? He says in hesitation, Australia. And at that time, Abel feels hungry and he asked them to have a tea. All are sitting near the table and Abel was facing spectators and they are lucky because Abel has forgotten asking questions and Abel stopped asking questions. On the continuation of today's part, Abel, suddenly recollecting, Amelia and Henry, what the devil did you mean by shifting my bureau out of my bedroom? Suddenly recollecting, Abel remembering, suddenly he has remembered, Amelia and Henry, what the devil did you mean by shifting my bureau out of my bedroom? Why have you shifted my bureau from my bedroom? He questioned, what is going on in the house? Very annoyingly and showing displeasure, he used the word the devil. What the devil means? Displeasure, showing displeasure and annoyance. And he asked Amelia and Henry, what is the reason for shifting the bureau from my bedroom to here? He asked. Henry and Mrs. Slater are speechless. They have no words because they did wrong. So they are speechless. Do you hear me? Henry, Amelia, Mrs. Jordan, what bureau was that, father? Abel, why my bureau, the one I bought. What bureau was that, father? There is another time she got a chance to make them prove that. Who got chance? Elizabeth. Mrs. Jordan has got opportunity. Another time she could get benefit and to prove them bad. Another time. So immediately she asked father, was that one bureau, father? Was it the one? Mrs. Jordan pointing to the bureau, was it the one, father? Abel, that's it. What's it doing there? Here, used to express pleasure or admiration. Used to express pleasure or admiration. Why? On seeing the bureau, he felt happy. Who felt happy? Abel felt happy. What is it doing here? A pause, a little pause. Nobody talks. The clock on the mantelpiece strikes 6. Everybody looks at it. Emilia has shifted the clock also, handsome clock which was liked by her. Every time she wanted to own the clock and bureau. So before the arrival of Mrs. Jordan, Mr. Jordan, she has shifted with the help of her husband, and immediately the clock which was on the mantelpiece strikes 6. Then everyone looks at it. Drat me. If that isn't my clock, drat me. If that isn't my clock. 2. What the devil's been going on in this house? What's the devil? What is going on? What are the things happening in the house? What are the things happening in the house? Let me know. Tell me, one of you, he asked. Then the clock drat me. It wasn't my clock. It wasn't mine, he asked. And what is going on in the house? Tell me, one of you, he asked. A slight pause. Ben, well, I'll be hanged. I don't. No, he is not ready to say. Mrs. Jordan rising. I'll tell you what's been going on in this house, father. Okay, I'll tell you, father. I'll tell you when Abel asks what is going on in this house, what are the things happening, why this bureau has shifted from my bedroom to here, and why this clock was put on the mantelpiece, who has done these things, he questioned. And one of you tell me what's going on, what things are going on in the house. When he asked, Abel asked, when Mrs. Jordan immediately raising, I will tell you, Father, what's going on in the house. She says, Father, nothing short of robbery. Father, nothing short of. That means as bad as. Nothing is equal to robbery. Nothing short of robbery. It is equal to robbery, she said. Robbery means stealing. Mrs. Slater, be quiet, Elizabeth. Be quiet. Don't talk too much. Be quiet, Elizabeth. Who says? Mrs. Slater says. Mrs. Jordan says, I'll not be quiet. I call it double-faced. No, I will not be quiet. It is called double-faced. I call it double-faced. What is double-faced? Amelia was a double-faced woman, and she is dishonest and she is hypocritical. So Mrs. Jordan says, I call it double-faced. Amelia was a double-faced woman. She is dishonest. She is hypocritical. She is rude woman. Henry, now Elizabeth, Henry stopped her from saying. Henry also stopped Elizabeth from talking all the things to Abel. But Mrs. Jordan, and you too, are you such a poor creature that you must do everything what she tells you? And you are a poor creature. She criticized Mr. Henry also. Who criticized Mr. Henry? Elizabeth criticized Henry also. You are poor creature. You must do everything what she says. You have no individuality, no self-respect. What she has said to you, you did it. It's very bad, she says. Abel rising, thumping the table. Thumping means hit hard. Thumping means hit hard. Abel is thumping, hit hard. That means hitting hard on the table. Damn it all. Annoyance, showing annoyance, displeasure, and unhappy. Will someone tell me what's been going on? Anyone? Abel wanted to know Abel wanted to know what is happening in the house. So will someone tell me what's been going on? He asked again. Mrs. Jordan, yes, I will. I will tell you, Father. I will not see you robbed. I will not see you robbed. Abel says, who has been robbing me? Who has been robbing me? Abel wanted to know who did rob him. He was puzzled. He was surprised. He wanted to know who did rob him. Abel says, who has been robbing me? Mrs. Jordan. Amelia and Henry. Amelia and Henry were trying to rob your things. They have stolen your clock and bureau. She says, they have stolen your clock and bureau. So they sneaked into your room like thieves in the night and stole them after you were dead. They sneaked. They took the things in a secretive way. Sneaked means took things in a secretive way. So she told. Who told Abel? Mrs. Jordan told Abel. They sneaked into your room like thieves in the night and stole them after you were dead. So in a secretive way, they entered your room and like thieves, they have stolen these things after you were dead. Henry and Mrs. Slater. Shh, quiet, Elizabeth. Shh, quiet, Elizabeth. Be quiet. Actually, she didn't know how they have shifted these things from his bedroom. Who didn't know? Elizabeth didn't know. Before her arrival, they have shifted these things. When they have stolen those things, she too doesn't know. But she created a story. Actually, she created a story. She didn't know how and when they have stolen these things. She too doesn't know. But immediately she created a story. What story she created? They sneaked into your room. They sneaked in a secretive way. They enter your room like thieves in the night, during the night time. But it is the creation of Mrs. Elizabeth. But she too doesn't know when and how they have taken or shifted those things from father's bedroom to down. She too doesn't know, but however she could get benefit and prove them bad. Again, she created a story. Henry and Mrs. Slaughter. Shh, be quiet, Elizabeth. Mrs. Jordan, I will not be stopped. After you are dead, I say. I will not be stopped. I don't stop. I want to say everything to father. So she says that. Abel, after who was dead? After who was dead? He questioned, who was dead? Who died? Who was dead? Mrs. Jordan, you father, you. Abel, but I am not dead. I am not dead. He said, I was alive. I am alive, but I am not dead. He said. Mrs. Jordan, no, but they thought you are. No, father, you are not dead, but they thought you are. A pause. Abel gazes round at them. Abel looks at all the family members. Look at them. Abel gazes. Gazes means look. Looked round at them. Abel. Oh, so that's why you are all in black today. Oh, confirmation. So he understood now what has happened in the house. So that why you are all, I understood why you are all in black today. You thought I was dead. He chuckles. Chuckles means laugh quietly. That was a big mistake. So he sits and resumes his tea. Anyhow, again he sits and taking tea. He laughed quietly, and that was a great mistake, he says, and again he sat and resumes and taking tea. Mrs. Slaughter sobbing, Father Abel, I didn't take you long to start dividing my things. After after realizing the truth, he says, after realizing the truth, what has happened in the house that day, he realized then he says these words, Abel, it didn't take you long to start dividing my things between you. I'll tell you what I am going to do. What I will tell you, actually I don't want to divide my things between you. I don't want to share my things between you. I don't want to give my property or my furniture to you. I don't want to divide or share my things between you. I'll tell you what I am going to do. I am telling you now. Since your mother died, I have lived part of the time with you, Amelia, and part with you, Lizzie. Lizzie means Elizabeth. So, since your mother died, since their mother death, their father lived a part of the time with Amelia and the part of the time with Elizabeth. Well, I shall make a new will. New will here, will is a legal document. Will, I shall make a new will, leaving all my bits of things to whoever I am living with them when I die. How does that strike you? I don't want to give my things and I don't want to share my things between you. How does that strike you? I want to make a new will. I shall make a new will, leaving all bits of my things, all furniture and property, money, whatever I have, to whoever I am living when I die, he said. Who says these words? Abel says. And will is a legal document that says what is to happen, so their money and property after their death. What is to happen? Somebody's property or money after their death. A legal document that says what is happened to somebody's money or property after their death. That is the meaning of will, a legal document. Will is a legal document. Mrs. Jordan, you know, Father, it's quite time you came to live with us again. We would make you very comfortable. Mrs. Jordan, you know, Father, it's quite time you came to live with us again. It's quite time you came. It's quite time. It's right time. It's time. After this expression, we have to use V2, past form. It's quite time you came to live with us again. That means it's already late. This thing has happened. It should be happened, but it is already late. It's time. That's why the expression should be in simple past. It's another variety of grammar topic. It's quite time you came to live with us again. We will make you very comfortable. It's right time to come. The action hasn't happened. Actually, the action to be happened, but it doesn't happen. So it's quite time. So that means it's right time. It is already late. You have to live with us, but you didn't come. So in that way, they have to use it's quiet time. You came to live with us again. We will make you very comfortable, and we will take care of you. We will look after you, Father. Come and live with us. Come and live with us. Who says these words? Mrs. Jordan asked her father. It's quiet time. You came to live with us because it is already late, Father. It is the time you didn't come. So it's time you came and live with us. We will make you very comfortable. With all arrangements, I do service to you, Father, and make you feel happy. Come and live with us, Elizabeth says to Abel Merriweather. Mrs. Slaughter, no, he hasn't been with us as long as he was with you. No, 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 he hasn't been with us as long as with you. He was with you. Actually, Abel Merriweather has been living with Elizabeth, Mr. Ben Jordan, and Elizabeth many years, 5 years, but only 3 years he has been living with Amelia. So, as long as he was with you, he hasn't been with us. Who says? Mrs. Slaughter says. Mrs. Jordan, I may be wrong, but I don't think Father will fancy living on with you after what's happened today. Okay, I don't think Father will fancy. Fancy means like to live with you. So what happened today, after looking what happened today, Father didn't like to live with you. So what happens today? After realizing Father doesn't like to live with you. That is the meaning of fancy here, like to. I don't think Father will like to live with you. So Abel says, it seems to me that neither of you has any cause to feel proud about the way you have treated me. So Abel says these words. They try. Abel didn't listen to them. They tried. You live with us, and you live with us. Both daughters say to him, but he didn't listen, and you neither of you feel happy to take care of myself. That's why I don't want to live with you, he says. They tried to make him living with us, but Abel didn't listen to their words. Mrs. Slaughter, if I have done anything wrong, I'm sure I'm sorry for it, Father. If I have done anything wrong, kindly excuse me, Father. I'm sorry. Please, she requested her father. Mrs. Jordan, and I can't say more than that too. I can't say so more than that. Father, you come and live with us, she says. Abel says, it's a bit late to say it now. Neither of you care to put up with me. So it's a bit late. Actually, it's a bit late to say with you, daughters, but neither of you care to put up with me. Neither of you put up. Neither of you look after. Neither of you bear. So Amelia nor Elizabeth did anything to feel proud. Neither Amelia nor Elizabeth did anything feel proud to take care of him, to feel proud, to look after him, to bear him. So they didn't feel happy. So he noticed it. Who noticed Abel? Their father noticed. Their father Abel noticed it. That's why he says these words. Neither Amelia nor Elizabeth feel happy to take care of him, to bear him, to look after him. So he wanted to go away. Mrs. Slaughter and Mrs. Jordan. No, no, Father, they says. Abel says, neither of you tried to take care of me, tolerate me, to look after me. So I don't want to be a burden to you, he said. Hey, you both say that because of what I have told you about leaving my money. Well, since you don't want me, I'll go to someone that does. So both of you didn't feel happy to look after me, to take care of me. So I don't want to live with any one of you. I want to go somewhere. I'll go to someone who feels happy to look after me, he says. Ben says, come, Mr. Merriweather, you have got to live with one of your daughters. Ben says, you have to live with any one of your daughter. Come with us, Mr. Merriweather, he says. Why did you want to go to someone? Come please, he said. Why did you want to go to someone? You need not go. You have two daughters. Either any one of any daughter you have to live. So come with us. Why did you go? Anyone? He asked, and he called him to come with them. He asked him to come with them. Abel says, I'll tell you what I have got to do. I'll tell you, listen, all of you, what I have got to do. On Monday next, I have got to do three things. On Monday, I have got to do. I wanted to do on Monday that he will, on Monday, Mr. Abel Merriweather wanted to do three things. On Monday that he would to do three. He would go to do three things. What are they? I have got to go to the lawyer and alter my will. First thing is he had to go to lawyer and alter his will. And second one is I have got to go to the insurance office and pay my premium. Second one, he had to pay insurance. Go to insurance office and pay premium. And the third one is I have got to go to St. Philip's Church and get married. Third one is he had to go to St. Philip's Church to get married. First one is he wanted to go to lawyer to change his will. And second one is he wanted to go to insurance office to pay his premium. And the third one is he wanted to go to St. Philip's Church to get married. Ben and Henry. What? Mrs. Jordan. Get married? Mrs. Slater. He is out of his senses. General consternation. She felt father is really mentally illness or senseless, silly talking, and real worry. She had shown real worry. General consternation means she has shown worry. She felt father is out of senses. But Abel says, I say I am going to get married. I am going to get married. Mrs. Slater, who to? Abel says, to Mrs. John Sharrock's, who keeps the Ringo Bells. And Ringo Bells is the restaurant, and he is going to get married. Mrs. John Sharrock's, she keeps the Ringo Bells. We have had it fixed up a good while now, but I was keeping it for a pleasant surprise. Actually, it was fixed some time ago. For quite some time ago, it had been fixed, but now I am telling you I have kept it as a secret, pleasant surprise. I have kept it for a pleasant surprise. He rises, and I felt I was a bit of a burden to you, so I found someone who would think it a pleasure to look after me. So he stands and says Abel felt that he was a burden to his daughters. That's why he found someone who would feel pleasure to take care of himself. So he wanted to go there, and he wanted to get married. That is Mrs. John Sharrock's, who keeps the Ringo Bells. We shall be very glad to see you at the ceremony. So if you come to the marriage ceremony, we all meet together there. I feel very happy. Abel feels very happy. He says to daughters and sons-in-law. He gets to the door till Monday, then 12 o'clock at St. Philip's Church. At 12 o'clock on Monday, St. Philip's Church. It's a good thing you brought that bureau downstairs, Amelia. You have done very good thing, Amelia. You have shifted the bureau from my bedroom upstairs to down. It will be very handier to carry it across to the Ringo Bells on Monday. So it is very handier. Handier means easier. Handier, easier. Handier means easier. It will be very easy to take these things from house to Ringo Bells. So Abel tells them what he is going. Abel tells them what he is going to marry, and he is going to marry Mrs. John Sharrock's. Abel tells them that he is going to marry Mrs. John Sharrox. But some time ago it was fixed, but he had kept it for a present surprise. And if they come to marriage ceremony, we all meet together, and they all met together, and they will be very happy and joy at the ceremony. He expressed his feelings, and he wanted to leave the house. And in the meantime, he says thankful to Emilia that she had shifted the bureau from his bedroom to down, so that it will be easy to take those things from house to Ringo Bells. So who would be there on Monday? So he wanted to get married. Who would be very happy to look after him? And ceremony means wedding ceremony. That's a traditional here ceremony. That is a marriage ceremony, wedding ceremony. So that is a traditional event. They all meet together in that ceremony, marriage ceremony. But they all might be speechless because they have no words. They all might be speechless now, and they just listen to Mr. Abel Merriweather, and they are speechless what they have done. Now they are all silent. They all might be speechless now, and Mr. Abel Merriweather says all these things to them, and he wanted to leave the house, and who feels pleasure and who would take care of him, and he wanted to go there. That is Mrs. John Sharrox, who keeps the Ringo Bells. He wanted to live with her. Thank you, children. Thank you very much. The lesson Dear Departed 2 is completed. So you read lesson and glossary. Glossary you write in your fair notebooks. Textbook reading is very important. You must read Dear Departed 1 and 2.